I get a huge amount of emails from people asking me to define exactly what meditation is and what it is to be a meditator and what its results one can expect. So in this video, I really want to clear up the confusion, the huge amount of confusion around meditation practice and what one can expect from that process. The first question I get asked a lot is, what is enlightenment? How do you define it? And is it something I should be pursuing actively, or does it naturally unfold? Well, the short answer to the question is there is absolutely nothing that is required in order to become enlightened. The only thing that is required is that we naturally drop the idea that there was ever anything wrong with us. The thing that stops us from being well and happy and free is the running commentary in our head that is constantly telling us we are not good enough. And we are encouraged and we are taught in our culture to believe that thinking in our head. It is the basis of our capitalist system. It is the basis of our education system. And it causes a huge amount of dissatisfaction in our lives, to be constantly under the impression that who we are right here and now is not enough. But hopefully, if we're a good boy or a good girl and we work hard enough in our education, in our job, in our religion, whatever it might be, in our spiritual practice, that one day we will be good enough. And this is what causes this sort of spiral of despair in us. So the idea, should I say, that you can pursue enlightenment is in itself a mistake, when actually you already are enlightened, that everything at its nature is still and at peace. Into that stillness and that peace might come a thinking Tobin thinking about, a distressing thought or a distressing idea about myself or others, etc. But fundamentally, the whole thing is arising from something that is already still and clear as it is. So enlightenment, if you like, is not about getting something. It is not about becoming something. It is about the absolute, complete understanding that you already are. It is about fully embracing not only your gorgeous, shiny, lovely bits, but your slightly wobbly bits that you're not so keen on revealing to the world, or your fallibilities and the mistakes you've made or make. It's about fully embracing that and loving you with all your mistakes included. It is not about self-development and it is not about self-improvement. It is about fully realizing you already are beautiful as you are. Number two, what role does a meditation practice play in our daily lives? Well, the answer here is there is no right or wrong. For me personally, I found meditation, the process of sitting quietly. There are many, many different techniques. It doesn't matter which one you use, regardless of what people say. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you spend time on your own without your digital device in reflection. You spend time being quiet and sitting still. For me personally, it's about sitting and not having any device at all, but just sitting and allowing the mind to do what the mind does. It might be raging, it might be as clear as a forest pool. It doesn't matter. It's just about sitting with that process. Do excuse the dog. That is the meditation practice. But for others, it could be art, it could be dance, it could be surfing, it could be learning a new language. It really doesn't matter. And the idea that somehow, because you're a meditator and you meditate, that you're somehow spiritually elevated is utter, total nonsense. It's what works for you. And I believe that life is about exploring and discovering what it is that makes you tick. And for me, it was meditation. And even now, after 40 years of meditation, I still sit. I sit with even less structure now than I used to, as in, I am absolutely not looking for an outcome. I literally just sit because I like to be still and I like to be quiet. That is the key to a meditation practice. And developing a daily habit, a daily practice of sitting, for me was fundamental, not only for my own well-being, my mental well-being, but also just allowing me to punctuate my day, however chaotic it might be or might have been, that I punctuate my day with moments of stillness where I sit. This is key. Number 3 is, how do I balance a meditation practice with spontaneous, mindful living? This is a one I get quite a bit. So, there is no difference. Like I said in my previous answer, there is no difference between your daily life and your meditation practice. Meditation is not some special holy practice, it is merely sitting. But you can also find moments in your day, whether it's drinking a cup of coffee, when you actually taste the coffee, or really connecting with someone where instead of telling them, you listen, you feel for the stillness and the silence within yourself. It could be when you're sitting on the bus that you remember to breathe and feel the beauty of the physical sensation of your body sitting. This is meditation in action, and it doesn't need rules and regulations around it. It is a natural part of being a human being. As you become more habituated in being still, whether it's sitting or drinking tea, you'll find there are other aspects of your life that are affected positively by it too. It has this ripple effect. So my advice is, don't look for formal ways of practicing. It is very, very useful to sit first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and then you'll find that trickles into the rest of your life. But putting rules and regulations around how I should be applying myself to this actually is not very helpful at all. So my advice would be, if you're looking to start a meditation practice and to implement it into your daily life, start with 2 minutes a day in the morning when you get out of bed and just sit. That's all you have to do, is just sit. You don't have to do anything with it. Just be with sitting. And over a period of time, you will find there is a change in you. And if you have any questions about any of this, please do get in touch. I'm here to help. If there's any advice you require, I can certainly guide you in the right direction. By the way, if you are enjoying this thoroughly gorgeous and glorious video, please feel free to hit that like button, and please subscribe to my channel too. Number 4, in the face of modern life with all its distractions and chaos and stress, what would you suggest to maintain clarity and mindfulness in your daily life? So my advice here is to be very, very clear that we are not looking for perfection in our lives. Being angry or stressed or jealous are all perfectly normal forms of human behavior. Obviously, through practice, or bizarrely through practice, it seems that those feelings are moderated. But the idea that we can somehow breathe our way out of our emotions or breathe our way out of our feelings is a nonsense. I work with a lot of teachers that used to talk about through the process of practice and breathing, that somehow you could not feel emotion. I mean, I'm a human being. I'm very, very happy to feel emotion. I think it's an amazing part of being a human being. And included within that is stress. So obviously we want to moderate that stress. And the way to do that is what I call homeopathic droplets of mindfulness in your life. It's the recognition within all the chaos of your day, getting the kids to school, or having a conversation, awkward conversation with your boss, or commuting on a busy train, etc. Within all that extreme chaos, that you have these droplets of mindfulness, or I don't even like the word mindfulness, I think paying attention. So you actually feel the weight of that orange juice as you lift it off the table, or you remember when you're standing at the bus stop to breathe and feel the weight of your body in your feet, or that purely just one outward breath before you step out of the car into your day. These tiny moments where you relax your shoulders, let your jaw relax, come back to the silence underneath all the noise, fundamentally changes your approach to your life and your approach to your day. And of course, we have ups and downs in terms of emotions throughout our day, but running throughout that is this beautiful silent hum of stillness, which does not need, again, does not need to be cultivated. It is always present. It is about dipping back down into that quiet bass note underneath all the chaos. You can walk down Oxford Street in central London with all the craziness there and be thoroughly still. You don't need to be in a mountaintop retreat centre to find stillness and happiness. Number 5, how do I know if I'm making genuine progress in my meditation practice? Again, I know maybe I'm repeating myself here, but to begin with, when you're a beginner, the discipline of waking up in the morning and not grabbing your phone and sitting on the floor with your mind raging, desperate to touch your phone, is a great thing to do for your long-term well-being and health. It's such an important thing to do. But the idea that somehow you're progressing down a road is nonsense. It doesn't matter whether you've been studying meditation practice like I have for 40 years or you started 4 hours ago. The idea that there's some sort of hierarchy or there's some sort of levels of attainment or levels of insight is utter, total nonsense. And I genuinely believe that the idea that there are levels of awareness or levels of enlightenment is just another way of selling you courses and selling you this idea that you're not good enough, but one day if you're good and if you work really hard you will be. There are no levels. There's not even being mindful and not being mindful. So many people write to me and say, "Oh, Tobin, I wish I was more mindful. I wish I could do more mindfulness." This is nonsense too. The idea that you failed because you're not mindful enough. You are always mindful. There is absolutely nothing but what's present. You are never outside the present moment. There is no such thing as the present moment. All there is this, right now, right here. And it doesn't require perfecting, and it doesn't require for you to be a better version of you. It just requires you to notice. Things are as they are. In this moment, I'm jealous. In this moment, I'm sad. In this moment, there's stillness. That is the human condition. It's about embracing all of that and not thinking that by somehow perfecting yourself, that you're somehow happier or freer. All you're doing is controlling yourself. And actually, all you're really doing is changing the upholstery in your prison cell. That nothing has really changed. The answer to your freedom is to stop believing the thinking in your head and realize that what's present right now is it. End of. I hope this has helped. I would love to hear what you have to say. So by all means, leave me a comment below or a question. You can always email me. My email will be in the bio. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts.